Hello and welcome back to the Snake Bite, our weekly sports show that airs every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. This week, I'm joined by James Simpson for our final show of the year. Now, James, we've got a lot of basketball news as both teams competed this past weekend at the Terrace Hotel Thanksgiving Classic.
That's right, John. We had an incredible weekend of basketball here at the Jenkins Fieldhouse for the annual Invitational. Let's start with the visiting men's teams as Florida Southern hosted St. Edwards, Grand Valley State, and conference rival St. Leo. On day one of the tournament, St. Leo topped St. Edwards in a hard-fought matchup, while Grand Valley State took on the Mocs. The 10-point victory for St. Leo was the widest margin of victory for any team in any of the 8 games at the Invitational, a testament to the high level of competition that we got to see this weekend. On Saturday, the Grand Valley State Lakers defeated St. Leo by just 1 point, as the Lions tried to claw back from deficits all game long, missing a buzzer beater to give the Lakers their second win of the weekend.
And on the Florida Southern side, the men's team lost a couple of heartbreakers against some hefty competition. On Friday, the Mocs held an 18-point lead of the 23rd ranked team in the nation, Grand Valley State, leading by 10 at the half. The head start wasn't enough for the potent Lakers, who outscored Florida Southern by 17 in the second half and cruised to victory as the Mocs shot just 22% from the field. On Saturday, the Mocs were dealt St. Edwards University in what was a competitive match the entire time. Grad student transfer Jack Casale started off hot, scoring 12 points and picking up 7 boards in the first half alone, but he was held in check after the break. DeAndre Campbell stunned the crowd at the Streamline Sale Arena, scoring a career-high 27 points despite the loss.
On the women's side, Florida Southern welcomed Kentucky Wesleyan, Gannon, and the Lynn's women's team to compete at the Invitational. The number 8 ranked Gannon Golden Knights from the PSAC won against both Lynn and Florida Southern, first defeating the Fighting Knights in a back-and-forth affair. That Lynn team would go on to defeat Kentucky Wesleyan the next day, a statement win for a team that was picked to finish second to last in the SSC at the beginning of the season. Kentucky Wesleyan ended up finishing the weekend 1-1 after defeating Florida Southern in an overtime thriller.
Yeah, James, that was a real killer as Florida Southern took both of their games right down to the wire this weekend. On day one, the Mocs competed in their first overtime game of the year, falling to the Kentucky Wesleyan Panthers in the extra frame, 77-72. It was a thrilling finish in regulation as both teams had a chance to break the tie, but a series of steals led to no points being scored in the final 47 seconds. The Panthers scored the first points of overtime and never relinquished the lead. The next day, the Mocs were unable to slay the Gannon Golden Knights, falling by 1 point after opening the game in a 10-0 hole. The Mocs were chasing the lead the entire game, never actually taking a lead in what was an eventual 1-point heartbreaking loss.
Well, John, despite the loss, redshirt freshman Sarah Wolgemuth had a career game for Florida Southern, leading the team with 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists, setting a new career high in points in the loss to Gannon. Earlier this week, we had the chance to talk with Sarah ahead of tonight's big game. This week, we're here with Sarah Wolgemuth. She's a redshirt freshman guard on the women's team here at Florida Southern. Sarah, thank you for sitting down with us.
Thank you for having me.
I've been looking forward to sitting down with you since Saturday when I watched that career high 17-point game. You know, that was a tough one. That was a tough one to watch as a fan, but it was an exciting one. What are your takeaways from that game?
Yeah, I think as a team we did really well. We competed the entire game. We were down at first and was able to come back. And I think just as a team we worked really well together. There's obviously some room for improvement, but it's exciting to see the potential we have to go against Gannon, who's a great competitor, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and you talked about the team and how well they were playing together. How have you guys all meshed? You know, you bringing in a lot of freshmen, and how have they fit into the program?
Yeah, definitely. I think the freshmen have done a great job of coming in, being competitive, really like absorbing everything that everyone has to say and learning the ropes of the program, even the transfers too. So I think everyone's just done a great job of kind of buying into the program, the culture that we have here, and just moving forward and working hard and competing every day.
Yeah, I mean, they have really been competitive. There haven't been a ton of huge blowout losses. It's been really competitive with some tough teams. In trying to rebound from this 77-76 loss to Gannon, the number 8 team in the nation, what are some of the takeaways from this weekend and the basketball that was played at the Terrace Hotel Thanksgiving Classic?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've played the best basketball we have so far this season, this weekend. We really were using each other and using each other's strengths. I definitely think rebounding from it and moving on, there's some room for improvement, especially on the defensive end, but we're going to get back to work and practice, and coming up on Wednesday, we're going to especially going to Florida Tech, ready to go, getting ready for the conference play.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you about Wednesday. I'm sure you are looking to keep your foot on the gas after some big games this weekend. What's been the message from Coach Harris leading up to this conference matchup?
She always says conference is really important. Mostly the thing is we can't really get a conference game back. And we started off, obviously, we took a tough loss to Barry, but we're hoping to come back, just continue the way we're playing and continue to make those improvements and really go in and take on Florida Tech.
And again, both teams will be back in action tonight as they get the chance to right the ship against the Florida Tech Panthers. Women at 5:30, men right after, and you can watch that one on the SSC Digital Network, live from Melbourne.
Moving on to our other sports here, we look at women's volleyball, which saw their season end last Monday, just missing the cut for the Division II National Tournament. The team ended their regular season with a big win over Embry-Riddle in 5 sets before destroying Rollins for the second time this season with a 3-0 victory on senior night. Looking ahead, the team is in good hands as they lost just 3 seniors this year and will look to build their program up again next year. Tomorrow afternoon, the first round of the Division II National Tournament will begin, with Sunshine State Conference teams representing Tampa, Embry-Riddle, Nova Southeastern, Lynn, and Palm Beach Atlantic.
Both swim teams competed back on the weekend right before Thanksgiving, and the men's team continued their reign of dominance in the Sunshine State Conference, placing first, and it wasn't close, against Florida Tech, Rollins, and Lynn in the Panther Invitational. The women wound up in second place after the 3-day event, falling just 23 points short of Rollins College as they defeated Lynn and Tech at the meet. Several mock swimmers earned times that will draw considerations for the NCAA championship come March. Before that, though, both teams will set their sights on January 21st when they'll travel to Northern Southeastern University for a meet with the Sharks.
And finally, our Week in Mocs History segment. On December 3rd, 1965, the George Jenkins Fieldhouse officially opened. The men's basketball team battled Rollins College, decimating the Tars by a final score of 89-59. The building was so new that the first time the Mocs had used the facilities was when they stepped on the court for warm-ups that evening. 1,600 people packed the stands for the first ever men's basketball game at the George Jenkins Fieldhouse, and perhaps 1,600 more will pack them up again this Saturday as the Mocs return home to take on Palm Beach Atlantic. That's all we got for you this week on The Snakebite. I'm John Kristovich. He's James Simpson. This is our last show of the year, so thank you for tuning in with us all semester long. On behalf of all of us here at FSC TV, thank you, happy holidays, and we'll see you next year.